Hey guys, so my name's Glenn, and I've been looking into doing sort of Bitcoin investment for the last probably couple of months, and I just didn't know enough about it. So I've decided to create a new YouTube channel. As you can see here, brand new channel. I haven't posted anything, I haven't put a screensaver, it says brand new channel, and I'm gonna basically vlog my journey of Bitcoin investment with you guys. So you can see what I've done right or wrong, and hopefully help you guys invest in your own way into Bitcoin. Just to give you a little background, today's date is the 13th of November 2017. So as of now, the Bitcoin sort of value, Bitcoin value, I think it's about 5,500 in British pounds. I know it dropped today quite a bit. I was just watching a Bloomberg channel, and they were saying that it dropped quite a bit today because investors are unsure about it now that there hasn't been an update on it or something. So just to give you a heads up, I don't know a lot about Bitcoin, so I'm literally, if you're thinking of getting into Bitcoin but you don't know what to do or what it is or how to go about it, you're in exactly the same position that I am right now. So hopefully if you're watching this maybe 3 or 4 months down the line, I know a lot more information, and obviously you guys can just sort of learn what I've learned. I've learned a lot in the last especially last sort of 2 weeks, I'd say. I've been looking loads into, it started off, I was looking into Bitcoin mining, like creating these rigs that you'll see online. So rigs are like a PC tower, if you like, or a rig, and you can set it up so that it's optimal for mining for Bitcoins or any sort of altcoins. Altcoins are sort of a variant of Bitcoin. Bitcoin was the first one, but loads of other people sort of brought out their own version of Bitcoin that do things better and worse than Bitcoin do. And obviously you can place your bets, if you like, or your investments into one that you like the idea or sound of. But Bitcoin's the main one, and that's the main one that everyone's jumping on, and that's the main one investors are on, and that's the one that's worth the most money, and it's been going the longest. So a lot of it is Bitcoin, but there are loads out there, as I found out in the last week or two. So I actually was at a caravan site, I think at the end of July, August, and we were sitting around talking about Bitcoin because I saw it come up on TV, and it was on like BBC Two, I think, and my partner said, "Oh, what's all this? You know what?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, I've been reading about this the last month or two. It's this Bitcoin. It's worth," and at the time, I think it was £3,000 for a Bitcoin, and no, it might have been two actually. Yeah, about £2,000. And she was saying, my wife Becky, what people pay £2,000 for this one coin that you can't even use or whatever. And I said, yeah, it's a new up and coming thing where you can pay for things online. And I sort of done a little bit of research on it, but that's literally all I knew. I knew it was going to be a new type of online currency. I didn't actually know the depths of it, where it came from or anything. So when I got home, started doing loads of watching YouTube videos. I started watching documentaries about it. Then I started reading stuff online, loads of reviews and websites, and just talking to friends that might know a bit about it. And yeah, to be honest, I found it quite difficult to actually get my head around it at first. So over the last couple of weeks, I thought, right, how do I actually get a Bitcoin? So I started looking into Bitcoin mining. And mining is a process where people with computer power, like enough power in their computers, I mean, I can even do it on this laptop that I'm talking to you on, but it would run so slow that it wouldn't be worth doing. And it runs at 100% processing power all the time. You can lower it down to like 70%, but again, it would be such a small amount, it's not worth doing. So that's how I actually first started. I actually tried to mine using my MacBook that I'm talking to you on now, and that didn't go down very well. So then I got in touch with my brother-in-law Ian, who's actually a IT technician for a college. And I said to him, Ian, can you build me a computer that's powerful enough to mine bitcoins? And he said, yeah, I can do, but it'll cost you, you know, he said like, he just come up with a figure, I think it was like $1,000, $2,000. Then I had a little look into it, and there's like ant miners and sort of these rigs that are specially built just for mining. That's all they do. You can't do anything else with them. You couldn't like go on it and play games or check Facebook. It's literally a machine. I'll just show you what I'm talking about as well. That all it does is mine for bitcoins. Now, the way that you mine for bitcoins is every time someone, from my understanding, so please correct me if I'm wrong, every time someone makes a transaction, it takes the computer power of someone else to actually break down and decipher a code of transactions that are happening all over the world all at the same time. And once that block has been worked, that person, whoever did that work, they get free bitcoins, so they get transferred bitcoins into their account for carrying out that work. So this incentivizes a lot of people at home to go, well, actually, how do I work on this chain, if you like? They call it a blockchain. So hence why I tried doing it on mine. But like I say, you need the processing power to actually crack this code. And what it is your computer's solving loads of mathematical equations really quickly, like thousands of them, or millions, sorry. So to actually get a machine that can actually just sit there and just keep thinking and working out calculations over and over and over and over again, you need a machine that has enough processing power. Now what they found is at first the CPU, so like your Intel core processor, I assume, they wasn't actually very optimal for mining and doing these mathematical equations over and over again at a high frequency, at a high power. So then obviously some geek somewhere, they realised that graphics cards, so the cards that you actually have in your computer to actually run sort of video games and sort of run anything that has graphical input, actually runs better at doing these mathematical equations over and over again. So then people started building PCs with loads of graphics cards in them. But then Antminer, or they're called Bitmain, the company that make them, this company here, they actually came up with a mining PC, if you like. This here, oh, that's a different one. So if we go products, but it looks like that. They have the S9, which is this one here. They've brought out other ones, so obviously I'm talking to you what's available right now, what's the best ones now, but obviously this has been going on for years. This has been going on for a couple of years at least. And they developed this S9, and this one has tons and tons of little graphical processors that are absolute optimal for just cracking code, and that's all they do. So this is the computer here, and you would plug this into a mains power and connect it to the internet, and that is essentially it. I think you have to preload some software on there to actually just run the code, which is a very basic software, but that's it. You could leave that plugged in and it would mine. So in my brain I'm thinking, right, I need one of these, connect it somewhere in the house and just leave it running for a year. But then I realised that they're sold out everywhere. So, I mean, this website here's got it in dollars. I mean, that seems pretty cheap actually. But the ones I've been looking at have all been $2.5 grand. I've seen them on eBay for $4 grand because they actually sold out for a little while. So no one could actually get hold of these. So then that got me thinking, oh, wonder if my brother-in-law Ian, I wonder if he can make one of these himself, because it looks quite easy looking at that. But when I spoke to him, he's like, Glenn, there's no way I could make one of them. He said, but I can build you a PC rig. So bearing in mind that's what that looks like, let's have a little look at what he's talking about. So a mining PC rig. So something like this. Loads of graphical cards, all just slotted into like a metal frame rig with a motherboard, a processor and some RAM connected to a mains power. Obviously it's quite big and chunky, but obviously that will get you started in sort of mining bitcoins. This is solving loads and loads of mathematical equations all at the same time. This will set you back though. Obviously you have to buy all these parts individually. So we had a little price up yesterday. I was around Ian's house and we sat down and talked for a while to get sort of like a graphics card that is worth doing. They're about 250 quid each. So I mean, looking at this image here, I mean, I don't know the exact setup of this guy's one here, but you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's got 6 there. You do 6 times 250, so already you're at, what's that? That is about £1.5 grand. And then you've got the motherboard, the actual rig, the RAM, the power supply. So you're probably talking there's about maybe £2,000 worth of equipment there. So I said to him, why can't we set that up and we go halves? And that's something that I'm still looking at doing. So that's one route that I'm looking to go down, actually physically mining for coins online. So that's where I'm at today. What I wanted to do with you guys is, because I've also been looking into loads of other revenue. So people have actually set up rigs like this, but I'm talking on an industrial scale. So massive warehouses, just rows and rows of these graphical cards and processors just continuously running all year long, all day, every month. And you can actually pay to rent or sort of hire, and they call this cloud mining. So I can pay a set amount of money, rent one of these machines essentially somewhere in Iceland or in Europe. They do all the mining for me. The mining company take a cut of what, from what I understand, again, I'm not an expert, they take a cut of whatever it is that you find mining, like a percentage, and they pay you whatever's the remaining. Now obviously if you're looking to sort of make a profit each month, you'd have to sit down and weigh up which is the better option. So having a look at, so the website I'm talking about is Genesis Mining. There's some other ones, but this seems to, oh, completely misspelled that. This seems to be the main one there everyone's talking about and using at the moment. And it seems to be the one that has the most sort of trust and reliability. Bear with me. Oh, postman at the door. So yeah, seems to be the main website. Genesis Mining is really popular. So how this works is you go to their pricing page, and this is as of November the 13th, 2017. Their prices have changed. If you look at some of the YouTube videos, and this is why I was getting really confused. I was watching some YouTube videos and they're saying, oh yeah, you can mine for Bitcoin off Genesis Mining for $30. And I'm thinking, what? The one I'm looking at is 180. So what am I doing wrong? But obviously they're out of date. They're sort of the older videos. The price as of today is 179, and that's for 1,000 gigahash. So the hashes is how many mathematical equations that these machines can sort of hash at, if you like, per second. So the higher hash per second you have, the more mathematical equations, the faster it can mine different blocks from this blockchain of information. So really you want sort of the maximum one. So these are different price plans I've got here. They've got gold for 179, platinum for 845, diamond for £4,000, but you get 1, 5 and 25,000 gigahash. Then you have a custom made plan, and these are tera hashes. So these are 1,000 each. So if I put it to 1 terahash, 1 terahash equals the same as 1 gigahash. That's 1,000 gigahash. Do you understand? I didn't. I had to look up how many terahashes is 1 gigahash, you know, and try and compare the amounts. So here you can create a custom made plan, and you can go all the way up to 200 terahashes, which would cost you 31,000. Now what you need to do is obviously sit down and think, right, how much do I want to spend? And this is where I'm at the moment. As of today, I'm not sure whether to put £2,000 into a machine to mine for me, that's something I own, something that I can keep an eye on and track, or trust this website that have a lot better equipment and a system in place than I would ever have. But then I'm trusting this Genesis mining website that they don't ever close my account, go bust, some law comes in place where they can't do it overseas, all these maybe different scenarios that might happen where I'm like, oh God, I've just lost all that money that I had saved in that account. But apparently they pay out every day, and these are so popular that the actual contracts, they're called, that you can take out. So when I take out this $179, they'll mine for me 1,000 gigahash. You can see down here it says open-ended Bitcoin mining. So they will keep mining for you until a point where, if the price of Bitcoin drops down dramatically and actually this is running at a loss, because remember, they take a cut of every Bitcoin you earn, they're earning a percentage as well. So if they see that it's not making any money, I think after 60 days, from what I'm read on the website, so for 2 months, if your mining operation with these guys doesn't run at a profit, they will close the account. So then that would stop. If it keeps running at a profit, they'll just keep it going, and you have to pay the maintenance cost of the electricity their end, their machines and aircon and stuff like that. So the way that you pay that, from what I understand, you don't keep giving them more money. They just keep taking, obviously, their cut of the profit. So this is why, if your Bitcoin mining is running at a loss, obviously it's in their best interest to sort of stop it and get new people on board, I suppose, with different price points. So I assume these price points are going to keep fluctuating depending on how popular the coins are worth and stuff like that. These are so popular that the actual wait time, so if I wanted to take one of these contracts out today, I couldn't just pay this 179 now and I'd start earning money tomorrow. You have to wait until the 28th of February 2018. So I'd have to pay that now, I assume, and they would start mining for me on the 28th of February. So as of now, that's about 4 months away. So in 4 months' time, they'll start mining for me. So then this is sort of, do you want to trust this website? I mean, I'd be looking at doing something around about the £2,000 mark. So I was thinking sort of on a custom-made plan. This one here, 10 terahashes, 1,690. Because in my mind, that's what I was willing to spend on a machine to mine for me. Now, the plus sides and downsides to a hardware one as opposed to this online cloud one. Sorry, I'm blasting loads of information out. This is all what I've learned in the last few days. If you have one of those rigs that I showed you, I've come off the page now. Yeah, one of these. There's a couple of down points to them. One is that they take up a large amount of electricity. These are processors that are running at maximum capacity all day, every day, if you allow them to. And obviously they get really hot. So they have fans. So you can see here, each one has a fan. So they're going to be going like nuts the whole time that you're doing this process. This means that they also take up a large amount of electricity. So you actually need to buy like a power supply converter, if you like. And you need to weigh up how much your electricity is going to go up. So at the minute I pay, if I'm being honest, I pay £40 a month for my electricity in this house. But getting one of these machines may increase my, I'm just literally just guessing figures here, my electricity may go up to £100 a month. So then I have to weigh up, right, £60 a month worth of electricity, plus I've paid 1,800 for the machine, or whatever it is. Then you have to weigh up how much you're actually getting in coins and whether you can sell them each month to meet the cost. Otherwise, you're just spending money and not actually getting anything in return. people that do this, they want to just see if they can run at a profit. So you see some people on YouTube and they're saying, oh yeah, my machine, I'm actually running at $100 profit a month. But to me, I think if you're betting that this is a currency of the future, which everyone's advertising it as, surely you want to keep hold of that currency for the future. But so for me, I want to try and sort of mine or accumulate as much coin as I can, but also not spending, too much at the beginning. Because when you actually talk about making profit, you make profit at the beginning, not the end. Depends how much you buy a product for at the beginning, determines how much you get for it at the end, essentially how much profit you get. So I need to decide whether this rig system here is going to be better for me, more beneficial for me in the long run, as opposed to doing the cloud service. So this is what I've been weighing up over the last sort of 48 hours. Another downside to this is that the fans obviously all make a noise, as you would expect from any computer fan. You imagine there's 2 on each graphics card, so there's 12 fans there. You imagine 12 fans going off in your house. That's going to make a noise. So you've got the noise factor. So if you don't want this big bulky metal thing in your house with loads of fans going off, literally sounding like an airplane about to take off, you want to put it somewhere like a garage or a room that's not too hot, a shed, something like that, that has electricity and internet. So you've got to take those accounts into, we've got a shed down at my garden which I'm planning to get one of these eventually in there, and I've got to get mains electric from my main electric fuse board all the way into my shed. It's watertight, and hope that obviously nothing ever leaks or breaks. So you've got those sort of risk factors. The other thing is heat. They produce, the reason those fans are going off are to cool down the process because they're getting so hot. This generates a lot of heat. So if you have this in your house, it's going to make whatever room it's in quite warm all the time, which obviously is alright for winter, I suppose, but in the summer months you're going to really sweat it out. So again, these are all factors you've got to take, think about when sort of jumping in and spending £2,000 on a machine, I suppose. Obviously with the cloud side, you don't have any of that. But like I say, they take a cut of it, so you're not getting as much maybe. But then you'll get more power. So then you have to weigh up actually how much terahash per second these guys can offer you as opposed to what you can get on these. The actual Antminer S9, they advertise it, I only found out yesterday, as being some, that can perform 14 terahash per second, which compared to these guys, if you wanted to do 14, say 15 as an example, that's 2,500. So if you can buy one of these for sort of, 1,800, then actually it's cheaper to buy this, but then you've got to take into account electricity. So again, it's all weighing it up. But apparently that's if it's overclocked. So that's, again, these are all terms that I've never heard of up until a few days ago. So the processor on these, they actually run best at sort of 80% running capacity. So that 14 terahash, 80% of that is the optimal running time to keep it continuously going. If you put it at the maximum 14, yes, it will probably get you the 14 terahash at that time, but it's only going to be a matter of time before that machine conks out, breaks, blows up, or something like that. So, because you think all that fan power and all that process power running that, it's like you running as fast as you can for a long period, for a year long. Eventually you're just going to conk out, obviously after a few minutes. But if you actually sort of did it as a walking pace or a jogging pace, if you like, you're going to be able to go a lot further. So that's something you need to take into account. So even though you see all these figures or how much they hash, that's a maximum speed. That's not going to be sustainable from what I've heard. So really, I was looking as a comparison, if I was to buy one of them then, to actually go back, that's why I set it at about 10 terahash, because to me that's a direct comparison. About 10 terahash per second on the Antminer as opposed to 10 terahash on the Genesis Mining Cloud mining service. So I don't know which one's the best. What do you guys think? Comment down below. You may be watching this and you may know a lot more than I do. Actually, I'm pretty sure you'll know a lot more than I do. So please comment and give me any advice you can. So that's where I'm at. Don't know where to put my money at the moment. But what I want to do with this series is actually, you've seen here clearly from hearing me talk and seeing me doing my research, I'm right at the bottom. So I'm right at the bottom of the food chain with this Bitcoin and stuff. I did actually start, so I say that, I'm right at the bottom. I still am, but I have actually gone one step further. Oh. So there's a website called Coinbase, which is a really easy to use website for just buying coins. That's literally all they do. They don't do any sort of mining or anything like that. It's literally you could just buy a coin off them for whatever the current exchange rate is. So it's really simple. You can see along the top here there's only a few menus. We've got how much Bitcoin's worth, Ethereum, I think that's how you pronounce it, and then Litecoin. So I actually bought all three of these, but only a small amount. You can see here the total amount I had was £81.80. I actually bought £100 worth, but they take a fee, so you have to bear that in mind. I think their percentages are like 2 to 4% depending on what you're buying on and then selling. So with these guys, one, they're quite good because it's all UK, so a lot of the Bitcoin stuff that's going on at the moment seems to be abroad. But this Coinbase website, it has a UK version of the website. Everything's in pounds. You can also do credit card transactions. So I actually bought this using a credit card because I just thought it'd be safer online. Because again, to me, this is all, it could be made up, it could be a scam, which I'm sure if you're new, you might be watching this thinking, yeah, actually I'm worried that it's a scam. So I actually bought using a credit card, so if anything did go sort of sour, I could obviously ring them up and get any transactions cancelled. So I bought here, I've got £10 worth of Ethereum, I bought £50 worth of Litecoin, and the reason I did that was because I actually just had a bit of OCD. I wanted at least one coin that said I had 1.0, whereas all the others you can see as 0.00. So I thought, oh yes, I've actually got one whole coin online. So, and then I had Bitcoin, which I did buy £50 worth again, but I actually just transferred 20 to a website called BitConnect, which everyone seems to be raving about online. I won't go into that now because I don't actually know too much about it, so it'll just be me talking gibberish. I just thought I'd try it out. I've already made a mistake, but I'll talk about that in the next video. But so that's where I'm at. I've got £81. I bought this about, well, it says there November the 8th, so what's that? That was about 4 or 5 days ago. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Literally £100 worth of investment. I would love to say that in 3 months' time, when you're watching one of these videos back, that I can post a video saying, you know, I made £1,000 via Bitcoin profit in a couple months or whatever, or you know, something like that. And someone may watch that video and think, well, how did this guy start? Where, you know, how did he get into it? Because I watched that on some of these other people. They're talking Bitcoins and currencies and BitConnect and you know, like referral and affiliate programs, and I'm watching them and I'm thinking, where did this guy come from? Like, how did he get into it? Where did he start? So I thought I'd start a vlog channel so I can share with you guys my ups and downs. I'm going to be completely honest throughout this whole process. I'm not going to bullshit anyone. I'm not going to lie. That's just not me in general. So I'm not going to, if anything comes up and it, you know, that I feel is not right or I think that's really good, I'm going to share it with you guys. And like I say, in my next video, I'm actually going to talk about BitConnect. I actually lost out on some money on that already. I'll talk about that in the next video. But please join in. I want this to be a community of people that, you know, are not too sure about Bitcoin, and we can all talk to each other and help each other. If I see anything in the comments or anything where people are trying to scam money out of people or trying to get them to sign up saying that maybe isn't legit, I'm going to try and block them and delete them and stuff like that. I want this like a, you know, a group of people that are all going to help each other out, and obviously that's going to help me because you're going to provide me information. I hope that I can help you guys with your Bitcoin investments. And yeah, any questions, let me know, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you want to see my next video, and give it a likes up if you like what I'm saying in this video. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. See you later, guys. Bye.